Welcome back. Well, every small business knows media coverage is a must if you want to get word out about what you do. Is your small business getting the attention it deserves? We brought in an expert. Geeta Nadkarni was a reporter and TV host for years before starting her own company, Baby Got Booked. She coaches companies and individuals on how to get media coverage. Geeta, welcome. This is the kind of question that small businesses and large businesses pay lots of money to try and learn the tricks of the trade. You're going to give us some for free today. Let's just start with how to pitch. Should every small business hire a publicist these days, or can you just cold call a producer or reporter and pitch a story?
I love this question because my answer is I really believe in DIY, do-it-yourself PR. And the reason for that is because most small businesses don't have a huge budget that they're going to spend for months and months and months. When you hire a PR agency, you're essentially renting their Rolodex. The second you stop paying, all those contacts disappear. All the not nows, maybe laters, I love your story, this is not the right fit, etc., etc. None of those contacts, you can't turn rejection into relationships. When you do it yourself, you can.
So you teach small businesses how they can do it themselves, and we could spend a whole hour, we could spend a whole week teaching small businesses the right people to contact. But they can. The short answer is Google, Google, Google. Do your homework, figure out who to pitch, and then once you get the right person, not always on the phone. I prefer email, and in fact, I prefer that they email my producer, not me, because I'm getting too many pitches. So those pitches have to stand out because we are flooded with pitches now.
Absolutely.
How do you stand out?
The first thing that a lot of small businesses get wrong, and this is what I teach in the course, is they answer the question, why now? This is the filter through which everybody evaluates any pitch, right?
It's true.
Right? It's like, why should I cover this right now? Is it newsworthy? Is it seasonal? Is it topical? Is it relevant to my audience? Most people answer that question by saying, well, I have an event coming up, or I hired this new CEO, or I, me. Wrong. Answer the question, why now, based on what's in it for the producer's audience.
You are exactly right. Every St. Patrick's Day, I need an Irish bar that will let me come in and do a story, and it's invaluable when they come to us and let us know based on this. But let's take a more serious topic. If gas prices are up, I need a small gas station owner that will let me come on their property and talk to customers about gas prices. We always need it based on the news, and we love to hear from people who are willing to let us go there. Call the assignment desk. Don't call me. I do like to know it, but I can't get it in my inbox. It's too full.
And if she's telling you this, take her advice. Rule number one, listen to what the journalist says.
But again, it goes back to we are flooded now by publicists who are pitching story after story after story. So then you say to them, if you're a small business, if you manage to get someone's attention, it's going to be for a very brief amount of time.
Yes.
You want them to have basically an elevator pitch about what they stand for.
That's right. And now I want to take this really further, because the elevator pitch, you can have the basic formula, right? This is a really simple thing that almost anybody can apply. It's I use my background in A, or I do A, which is what your background is, to help B, which is your target audience, and you really want to get down and niche down into that target audience. Single moms, that's much more specific than women, which could be anybody.
Exactly.
I use my background in A to help B, your target audience, do C. Talk about the outcome. Sell Paris, not the airplane. Even airplane companies don't say, well, why don't you sit in this uncomfortable seat and clench your butt cheeks to keep your circulations going? You know, no, nobody wants that.
That's the first time we've gotten that advice on this show. I'll give you another good example. One of my favorite local business leaders is a woman named Catherine Ham. I found her because gay marriage was in the news, and I wanted the business impact, and I Googled gayweddings.com, and guess what? It's a small Northern Virginia company that has that domain in the entire U.S. I go to her when I need to talk about gay marriage and what it could mean for...
And she is now your expert on that subject.
Exactly. Okay, so you've got that, you're perfecting it. Again, we could do a whole week of training on that. But then how do you help companies realize what I do somehow sets me apart, somehow makes me especially able to impart my wisdom to this audience?
And I think a lot of companies, especially people in manufacturing or any kind of esoteric industry, they think, well, I can't really explain what I do in 30 seconds because people don't have the framework to understand what I do. And in those, I have a whole module in the course. I have an online course, so basically anybody with an internet connection can take it. And the idea is that I have this whole module on sound bites, speaking in sound bites. And one of the ones I teach, which is so relevant to this particular group, is cultural shorthand. So I'll give you a concrete example. We had a musician in the course, and she was just like, well, how do I get a music show producer's attention before she hears my song? How do I, from my email, get her to the point where she's willing to open the MP3? And so I listened to her music, and I thought, well, if this is the soundbite we came up with, if Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi and Sarah McLachlan played in a band together,
this would be the music.
Exactly.
Okay, you're good at what you do, and we need more of that wisdom, so we need to have you back on the show. And in the meantime, I promise we will put a link to all this advice, your tests and everything, on our Facebook page, Washington Business Report. Lots of good advice, and it's a question I get asked all the time.
I bet.
Thanks so much for joining us.